Welcome back to the Freedom Ticket. Now we're going to talk about everybody's favorite subject, PPC. Yeah, this is probably the bane of everybody's existence on Amazon, where they have the hardest time getting their head wrapped around it because it can get pretty complicated. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of spending a lot of money, a lot of chance to waste a lot of money or to make a lot of money if you do it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give you the basic overviews of PPC. PPC stands for pay per click. So this is the advertising model on Amazon. And then Destin Washawn is going to come in and she's going to go into detail. She's the expert at this. I know PPC, but I want someone to come in that's like lives and breathes this, that does this day in, day out, that's one of the top in the industry. So she's going to come in and explain to you the inner workings and exactly how to set up your campaigns, how to actually analyze the results, what changes you should be making, all those little nitty-gritty details. She's one of the best at it. She's in the Dream 100 of my $1 billion sellers group. She speaks at my summit, so I think you're going to really enjoy what she has to say. But I'm just going to give you the quick overview before she comes in and gets into the weeds with you. So PPC is where Amazon makes most of their money, actually. Their advertising revenue, Amazon doesn't really make money selling products. They do okay selling products. They eke out a small profit. But the bulk of their revenue, and this has evolved, this wasn't the case 10 years ago. They made money selling products. But now they make most of their money selling ads. And if you look at their balance sheet, their ad budgets, not ad budgets, their ad revenue, it's exceeding $40 billion a year. That's almost pure profit. I think only Facebook and Google actually generate, or Meta and Google, or Alphabet, I guess, they keep changing all their names. Meta and Alphabet actually make more money when it comes to online advertising than Amazon. Amazon's quickly closing that gap. So this is a major profit center for them, and so it's a major focus. And more the products that you sell on Amazon, you're having to pay to play. So more and more of the spots are becoming less organic or just kind of like free listings, and more about how you pay, what you're willing to pay to actually get that sale. And Amazon, it's a major profit center for them, so it's a very important thing to understand. There's two types of results, remember, on Amazon. There's organic, which means Amazon analyzed your listing and the data, and they just kind of show you for free. It's kind of like Google or something. And then if you're not showing you for free in that top page, you can go to Amazon and say, hey, I'll pay you to show me. And you bid. It's an auction system. So you bid on how much you're willing to pay. And it's not always necessarily the top bidder wins. Amazon looks at a number of factors like who's willing to pay the most money and how do you convert once they click on that. Because it's a 1-2 combo of Amazon making money off the ad, the click that you just paid for, and making money off their commission off if you sold. Plus, it's customer satisfaction. They only want to show advertisements and show listings to people that actually want the item. So it's not necessarily who bids the most, it's who converts the best and who is most relevant. So there's a whole science to figuring this out based on keywords and whether you use an exact word, they have to type in this exact word, if they have to type in a phrase, or they can type in, as long as that word is anywhere in whatever the customer types in, that's called a broad match. So there's broad match, which means the word appears anywhere in the phrase. If someone types in golf balls for left-handers, if the word golf balls appears, they'll show your ad in that because golf balls is in golf balls for left-handers. Or if you only want your ad to show for people that say it says golf balls for left-handers, then that would be an exact match. You want those exact words to be in there, otherwise don't show my ad. Or a phrase might be balls for left-handers. So you're taking out the word golf, but it's a portion of it. So that's the phrase. And so if that phrase appears anywhere in the query that the customer types, you can show an ad for it. So those are the three main text-based types. Then there's video types of ads where you can run videos. There's display ads where you can run like still pictures up at the top of the listing or to the right of the listing. There's what's called DSP, which is where Amazon follows you off the platform. So you ever notice you go on Amazon, you look at a product, and then you venture off to, say, a news website, and all of a sudden there's an ad there saying, hey, come back and buy this on Amazon. Or maybe you bought some supplements on Amazon, and then 30 days later, you're surfing around on some other website, and an ad appears like, hey, it's time to reorder your supplements. You're like, how the heck do they know? I ordered supplements 30 days ago, and I'm almost out. It's DSP, so it's off-platform following you around. Now Amazon has where you can buy ads on Alexa. You can buy ads on Prime TV now. So Amazon's leveraging the entire Prime TV platform. They're changing with the videos because of TikTok. They're testing vertical videos, or actually running vertical videos now, which are converting much better than like horizontal videos. This is constantly evolving, and Amazon's constantly figuring out how can we make more money and get people to pay more money for us, because this is a major profit center, and help us sell more and make customers happier. So that's the PPC typically is going to be a heavy part of your budget. So when you're factoring in your budgets of how much you need to spend to actually sell on Amazon, part of that is you're going to have to put aside, in most cases, a significant amount for ad spend. And so there's two types of ad spend, two ways of calculating it. One is called ACoS, which stands for advertising cost of sale. So that means if you sell something for $20 and it costs you $2 to get that sale, that's a 10% ACoS. $2 that you paid Amazon for the click divided by the $20, that's so 10% of the sales price you had to spend in advertising. Now, there's also times where you have organic sales that are just coming in naturally. And so if for every 4 times someone buys something organically, say you sell 5 items, and out of those 5 items, one of them came from an advertisement you ran that for a $20 product that you spent $2 on the click. So that's a 10% ACoS. And then the other 4 sales came organically. You didn't have to pay any advertising for it. So that means you made 5 sales total, and you spent the $2. So that would be what's called tacos. That means your total advertising across everything. So in this case, your tacos would be like 2%, because 2% into $2 of ad spend to make $100 worth of sales, because you sold 5 things at $20, is 2%. So that's what's called tacos, or total advertising cost of sale. That's the important metric you want to look at, is where's that balance. And now sometimes you can pay for clicks and there's no sale made. So there's certain rules, and Destiny will go over this, where you want to turn things off. Like maybe it's after 10 clicks that you paid 50 cents a click and you paid $5 and nobody ended up buying anything. Maybe that keyword's not relevant, or maybe your listing needs some adjustments to make it more relevant. So that's some of the things that she'll go through, is how to fine tune these kinds of things. But though it gets detailed really fast and gets into the weeds really fast. But it's an important factor when it comes to selling on Amazon, because it'll make a huge difference. It'll help you teach the algorithm what's relevant and what's not relevant. It'll help you rank better. The PPC essentials, you don't have to be a master at it, but you need to know the basics. And what a lot of people end up doing is they end up hiring agencies like Destiny's, for example, or some other ones to actually manage this for them. And people always say, well, Kevin, what's the best agency to use for PPC? And I say, well, it depends. Every agency has different people, and they have different ways of training them. For me, it's not about the name of the agency that matters. It's the name of the person that's managing your account. So one agency, someone may tell you, oh, that agency sucks, but maybe they just had the wrong person at managing their account. And someone else uses that same agency, and they have a great person managing their account. If you don't know the fundamentals and the basics of selling on Amazon and PPC, it's going to be hard for you to talk to them and figure out who's good and who's not and who's just.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi, như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ Helen Hand, từ trên Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem thêm thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
How can you help them tweak what they're doing? And so it's important to know a little bit about PPC. Now, initially, when you first launch a product, you're probably going to have to spend heavily on PPC. Ideally, you're going to get that to where only 20 to 40% of your sales are going to come from PPC. But initially, it could be 100%. And you may be paying through the nose to actually get ranking. You may be losing money on every sale. You may have what's called 100% ACoS, which means if it's $20 to buy your product, you're spending $20 in clicks to actually get someone to buy it. And you're like, holy cow, this Amazon thing doesn't work. I'm just losing money like crazy. That's just the cost of doing business. It's called a launch. It's marketing. It's getting the word out. It's getting the momentum going. And you have to factor those things in. So usually when you launch a new product, maybe the first $500 to $1,000 an advertising spend is probably going to be wasted. You're going to be testing things, seeing what works, what doesn't work. You're going to be getting the ball rolling and seeing telling Amazon what's relevant. So hopefully your organic rank starts to come up a little bit naturally over time, from not being on the page at all, not being in the top 300 at all, to being like number 200, to being number 150, to being number 50, and hopefully working your way up into the top 10. So expect a heavy dose of PPC. Some people will say, well, I should just start out with $5 a day or $10 a day. I'm not of that camp. Destiny will probably tell you some ideas on what you should start with, but I believe you should go in as hard as you can and figure it out quickly, because you have that honeymoon period, and you should figure out where you need to be really, really quick. Helium 10 has a tool called Atomic that will help you manage this, so it can tie into the API of Amazon and help manage some of the structure, because Amazon itself can be a little bit daunting and a little confusing. Atomic adds some additional layers of filters and additional ways to bulk process stuff easier than being a technical person. So take a look at Atomic, and that can be something that may help you on your PPC. Also, there's other places to advertise. You have the banner, you have the sidebars. You can target other people's products. So like, if I've got a product, I do this sometimes with someone launching a product. I have an established a product that does well. It has 360 reviews, it's 4.7 stars. Someone else is launching a similar product to mine. They have 0 reviews and no stars yet, but they're running heavy PPC. This is kind of unfair, but it's part of business. I can go in and I can target their product, and I can have my product show up on their page, and I can, in essence, steal some of their sales. So you can do things like that. You can target complementary products, target your competition's product. You can do defensive mechanisms where, to keep people from showing up on your listing, you can buy all the spots for your brand and for your name as a defensive mechanism to keep people out. Some people say, well, if I use PPC and I'm ranking number 1 organically, should I still run PPC? Should I cut it back? I think you should still run it. The more places you appear, the more likely you are to make a sale. And so I don't think you should ever, even if you're successfully number 1 on a product, you should probably still continue to run PPC. Maybe you don't pay quite as much and you dial back some of the bidding or the budget, but you should still pay. Amazon also has day parting, where you can choose certain types of day to actually run your ads. And sometimes you can take advantage of that. Everybody's online in the morning, so maybe you don't want to run ads, but late at night, less people are online, there's less competition. But you can sneak in and run an ad at a tenth of the price in the middle of the night and capture those overnight people that can't sleep at a fraction of the cost. It can be very effective. So day parting is something you can do. If you're selling something that's office products, and you notice that all your sales always come in Monday through Thursday, and on the weekends, nobody's buying office products. We probably don't want to run ads on the weekends. So you can use day parting and say, just turn off my ads for Saturdays and Sundays and pick them back up on Monday mornings, and control some of your costs that way. PPC can get expensive really fast. Some of the categories, the bids can get into the $10, $15, $20 per bid. And some people are willing to pay that. Some of the supplements people, they're willing to pay $20 per click because they know that even though their bottle of vitamins is $30, they know their lifetime value. So they know that the average customer, because they're on Subscribe and Save, is going to buy 7 bottles of this before they end up canceling. So they know that this customer is worth $210. So they just factor that $20 of this $30 bottle into the whole lifetime value, not the sale value. So that's how it can get expensive really quick. And there's people that are sophisticated marketers and that can play the long game and have the budget to play the long game will do that. So you gotta be careful there on what products you target and what keywords you're going after. You may not be able to compete if you don't have the budget or the patience to play the long game. So those are some factors you got to think about too. You can also advertise off of Amazon. Facebook you can run ads on Facebook. You can run ads on Google. You can run ads on TikTok and on Pinterest and on Instagram and drive that traffic back. And those can be great methods too. So and sometimes you can get better deals there than you can get on Amazon. Remember, about 25% of the traffic on Amazon doesn't come from people typing in Amazon.com. It comes from people going to Google and typing something and Amazon coming up in the results, or an ad showing up in the results. And there's programs like Amped and other ones that will help you tie in your Google traffic to your Amazon traffic and put that brand referral bonus link in there that I talked about earlier. So there's lots of cool stuff like that you can do. for when you're launching a product, PPC is vital. You've got to have a plan for PPC when you first launch, and you got to have the budget. Remember earlier I said that 2.5 rule. If you have $10,000, your first product landing cost shouldn't be more than $4,000. It's because I said there's some other miscellaneous costs in there. $1,000 to $2,000 of that money is probably going to be needed to actually run PPC and to actually get your product up and running. Helium 10 has a lot of tools that you can look and see. Magnet and Cerebro actually will show you. Amazon itself will show you, like, here's some average costs for bids, and you can get a range. There's a whole bidding strategy that I'm sure Destiny is going to be going through with you, and the additional modules here in this section. And she'll go into detail on how to set all that stuff up, how to analyze the reports, how to make the adjustments, and all that. So I hope this has been just giving you a good overview and good introduction, and take a look at what Destiny is going to say and learn how to really manage it yourself.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ Thailand, từ cho Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.